Data cleaning in Excel can be a hassle with formulas and manual steps. Instead, a much faster and easier solution experts use is Power Query. So let me show you how to use it and why it's a better alternative to traditional Excel methods. Here's the raw data set that we're working with, and you can see we have some duplicate entries like this order ID over here. This name column is all messed up with different formats. Also here under payment type, we have transfer and bank transfer, which are basically the same thing, and we would like to combine it into one. We also would like to add a few different columns, like for example, the difference between the arrival date and the order date. So there's quite a few things that we would like to clean up here. And if you want to follow along, you can download this Excel file for free in the video description. So let's get started by going over to Power Query. And for that, we can go to Data and click on From Table/Range. It's gonna ask us if we're ready to confirm with this table. We'll press on OK. And now it should open up the Power Query editor you can see here on the top left. The first step for us should be to remove any duplicates, and to check if we have any, we can go over to View, and within it we're gonna go to Column Distribution. Once we click on that, you'll see we have this top area, and under Order ID it should all be unique. So in this case we only have 26 unique with 31 distinct. So we want to remove some of these duplicates. When we hover over it, we get this gray area. We want to click on these three dots and go to Remove Duplicates. Once we do, you'll see that applied step over here on the right hand side, and all of this is now cleaned up. We can also look at the column profile if we wanted to. You can see here there's the min, max, etc., as well as the column quality, so to check if there's any error values. We can untick on all of these for now as we continue on. Looking at the different dates now, you can see that we have all of these times currently at 0 for the order date and the arrival date. To clean them up, we can just click on this icon to the side and choose we want a date. Same thing over here, we're gonna go for a date. That's all cleaned up. And because we have both the arrival date and the order date, we can actually select them like that. Make sure you select the arrival date first, and then we can go over to Add Column, and we're gonna add a new column under Date. Subtract the dates, so it's gonna be the arrival minus the order date. Once we click on that, you see we get the subtraction. We can just drag that along to next to the date, so it should be over here, and we can rename it simply by double clicking on this top part, and let's call this days to arrive. Hit enter there, and like I mentioned, all the steps are being recorded here on the right, so we can always go back in time if we want to, or delete any of them, as well as change them by pressing on this cog sign. Awesome, that's the date section done, and next up let's work on all of the different names which are currently formatted very poorly. You can see here we have a lot of spaces before, and we also have strange capital letters. So we can change all of these by going over to Transform, and under Format you'll notice we have all of these areas which are basically like formulas in Excel, except that we only need to click on them. So I can click on Trim here. You'll see that's removed all of the excess spaces I had at the start. I can go to Format again, capitalize each word, and you can see here that it's cleaned up all the capitalizing as well. Some areas like Harley Fritz here have 2 spaces instead of 1, so the actual trim function doesn't get rid of that. It only gets rid of spaces at the start or at the end. So what we can do instead is go over to Replace Values. We'll click on that once, and we want to find 2 spaces. So I'm just going to put space twice here and replace it with a single space. Press on OK, and you can see that Harley Fritz has been cleaned up too. After data cleaning, the next step would be to perform data analysis, and a great way to do that is using HubSpot's free Introduction to Data Analytics report. They're kindly providing this 50-page PDF completely for free, which you can download using the link in the description below. In the file, you'll find a comprehensive breakdown of what data analysis is, what types of data analysis there are, and some of the best practices as well. It's not just a report full of text though, it also has supporting visuals to make sure you understand. This resource is great if you're a beginner, as well as someone who's taken their fair share of statistic classes like myself. I personally find this most useful to refresh my memory on some of the key terms and techniques. So I recommend you head over to the link in the description below to download this completely free guide from HubSpot to level up your data analysis skills, and thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Alright, now moving on to the department and the region columns, and for these, let's suppose that we want them merged into one column. In Excel, you would typically do this with something like the text join formula, but it's much easier here just by clicking on merge columns. As the separator, we can choose specifically a custom one. Let's say we just want to put a comma and a space. And we can also name the new column. Let's go ahead and call this something like department, comma, space region. Click on OK here, and you can see it's removed the previous column and just added one with a comma and a space as the separator. Next up, let's work on the different payment types. If we go over here to the payment column, you'll notice that we have credit card and card, which are essentially the same thing. So let's suppose we want to merge these into just card, and we also want to merge bank transfer and transfer into one. For this, it might be easier to create a new column, and we're gonna go to custom column. We're gonna add an if statement here, and it says that if the text dot contains, that's what we'll select. And over here in parentheses, we want to add these square brackets. More specifically, we're looking at the payment type column. And essentially, we're saying if it has credit card, we want it to switch to just saying card. So for that, we want to put a comma and in quotations, credit card, close up parentheses, and then we're going to put then. So if that's the case, we want it to convert to just card. Let me make sure I add a capital C in here. That's one part done, but we want to add an else if here, such that if the text contains, because that's not the only condition for us. The second one is in that same payment type column, so in these square brackets under the payment type, comma. This time we're saying that if the text contains bank transfer, close up parenthesis, then we want it to say just transfer. Make sure that's in quotations as well. Let me type that properly, transfer, like that. And then finally, if it's none of these two, we're just gonna leave the payment type column as is, so leave it alone basically. Again, to summarize here, if the text contains credit card, we want it switched to card. If it contains bank transfer, we want it switched to transfer. And if it doesn't match any of these two, we just wanna leave it as is. Press on OK here. So it's generated this new column. Let's go ahead and compare it here. So credit card is switching to card, that makes sense. Bank transfer is switching to transfer to, so that's all good, and we can just delete this other column, right click and remove. Great, now we can move towards the financials with the revenue and the profit. So you can see these two over here, and what we want to do is find the profit margin, which is the profit divided by the revenue. For this, again, we'll go to add column, custom column, and this time it's a fair bit easier. We're just going to call this profit margin, and it simply equals to the over here on the available columns, the profit, we'll insert that and divide that by the revenue, we'll insert that as well. Click on OK, and you can see we have this value right now, but it's currently not in percentage format like we would like. So we can press on this icon here to the side and change that to a percentage. So that gives us the profit margin. Awesome, so we've done a lot of the data cleaning, and now we want to extract some insights from this data. For example, here under the specific types of payments, so let me just rename this to payment type. So based on these payment types, it would be nice to see, hey, is the revenue any higher for card payments versus transfers? So for all of this, we can analyze it further by just going to table 1, right click, and we're just gonna duplicate this. The idea is that when we move this back into Excel, we're gonna have different sheets for each of these. So I can name this something like payment analysis, hit enter there, and all I'm gonna do here is head over to home, and I'm gonna group by. Click on that. We're gonna go for an advanced group by, and what we wanna do is group by the payment types. For each of these, we wanna find what's the average revenue, so average revenue like that, and the operation is simply the average of the revenue column. Maybe we can do the same thing for the average profit margin. So we're just gonna select the average as well, but this time for the profit margin. One final aggregation we can add is the count of occurrences. So it's just gonna be the count of the rows, and we can just press on OK here. You can see that we have all of the data grouped now as a separate query, where we can see we have slightly higher revenue amounts for bank transfers. That said, it seems like we have a much higher profit margin when it's payments through cards, and we can see the count of occurrences as well. Another thing we could analyze is the number of days. So if we go back to the original table, you'll recall we made this days to arrive column. So based on that, we want to find the average number of days to arrive, maybe for each specific department and region. So for this, we can also duplicate it. So right click, duplicate. Let's call this something like days analysis. Hit enter there, and we're gonna group by again. Go for an advanced group by, but this time around we're going by the department and region, and based on that we're gonna create different aggregations. So let's call it the average days, and we can use the days to arrive column for that. Add another one. We could use something like the minimum as well as the maximum. So let's go over each of these here, and I'm just gonna change that to days to arrive and days to arrive as well. This is the min, and the next one is the max. Click on OK here, and you can see we have all the data grouped, and it looks like for operations in Florida, it seems to be the highest average number of days for a specific order to arrive. That said, some orders have arrived in just 3 days, so potentially we can improve this performance. Once we're done with all the data cleaning and the analysis, to bring it back into Excel, we just need to click on Close and Load. You can find that in the Home tab. You'll notice down below we have the days analysis query, we have the payment analysis query that we made as well as the table 1, which is the cleaned up table. So you can see how using Power Query is much faster and easier than using Excel for data cleaning. And before you use Excel again, to make sure you have the right settings in place, watch this video over here or take our Excel course over here. Hit the like and that subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.